Are you missing fresh food in the winter months? Well, I've got some delicious fresh greens that you can grow right in your kitchen. Sprouts! Stephanie Rose here from Garden Therapy, and today I'm going to show you how to grow fresh, delicious sprouts safely right in your kitchen with no special equipment. I really love sprouting any time of the year, but it's really great when there's no garden fresh produce or there's a lot less on the grocery store shelves that's fresh. This is something that you can grow and have fresh vegetables available in just 5 to 7 days. You grow them right on your kitchen counter and you don't need any special equipment, no grow lights, no specific sunlight. Just a few common kitchen supplies is all you need, like one of these wide mouth mason jars. And you can use either a sprouting lid like this one, which is made specifically for sprouting, or you can make your own really easily with a doubled up piece of cheesecloth like this and a ring. There you go, home sprouter right away. Oops. The first thing that seems to be a big fear with people about sprouting, or the biggest complaint that they have, is that it could grow bacteria, and so they're a little bit worried about the safety of sprouts. But if you use safe handling practices, similar to what you would normally do when you're preparing any food in your kitchen, then you'll have safe sprouts every time. Certainly bacteria can grow really easily when you've got something like this. We're growing sprouts, it's going to be in water, and that's a great place for bacteria to also grow. But if you make sure that your mason jar, your ring lids, your countertops are completely sterilized and cleaned between each use, then you'll have no problems growing anything but delicious sprouts. The next thing you want to look at is the seeds that you use. It could be super tempting to go out to the garden shed and just grab whatever seeds you have and sprout those, but sprouting seeds are processed in facilities that are certified for handling food products, while the seeds from the garden are not. So look for really high quality organic seeds that are made specifically and labeled for sprouting to make sure that you're going to grow the safest and most delicious sprouts. Okay, so once we have our sprouts and we have our mason jar, then we can start to get them ready. First thing we want to do is rinse the seeds. So you'll fill your jar about 1/8 of the way to 1/4 of the way with seeds. All right, so now we're going to rinse the seeds to get them started. The first step with sprouting in a mason jar is to add a little bit of water, like this, and giving them a little swish for about 45 seconds. You see I've got 2 different sizes of seeds here. When you're using a smaller seed like alfalfa and broccoli, you'll use a little bit less in the jar than you would if you were doing something like lentils and green peas, because the smaller seeds will actually fill up the jar quite a bit. So swish them around for about 45 seconds, then strain that water out through the lid, and then we're going to soak them overnight. So once that's been rinsed and strained out, then add 2 to 3 inches of warm water, then leave the water in overnight for about 8 to 12 hours for a really good soak. In the morning, when you get up, pour the water out and give that another rinse. So add more water, swish it around a little bit, rinse that out, and then you can put it right up on your counter like this with your seeds rinsed. The next morning, you'll strain the water out and remove the lid. And then you can rinse the seeds once again thoroughly by swirling it for several seconds, replacing the lid and straining them. Then you can set the jar back on the counter without any water this time and let the sprouts start growing. All right, so then after that, it's really easy. You'll just rinse the seeds like that in the morning and the evening until they reach their desired size. After about 3 to 7 days, these ones here are about 2 days old. So after about 3 to 7 days, you'll see they start filling up the jar. These ones are 7 or 8 days old and really perfectly grown so that there's lots and lots of vegetable to eat there. And if you want them to green up a little bit, then put this jar out on a windowsill, and the sunlight will help, just even in a few hours, will help to give them this really nice green color. So when your jar is full and you're ready to harvest them, and I like to use a salad spinner like this, which has got a basket, so you can pour the sprouts in there and then use the basket to swish them around and really remove the husks. The husks you can eat, but they do change the flavor and they decompose a little bit more quickly. So it means that if you do it this way, you'll have longer lasting, better tasting sprouts by rinsing off the husks. Add the sprouts to the basket of the salad spinner, and then put it in the base of the bowl. Fill this up with cold water, and with really, really clean hands, stir the sprouts to give them a good wash. Most of the sprouts, the husks in the sprouts will float to the top or flow out the holes of the basket. So you can rinse it a few times under the water until the water is clear and there aren't any of the husks left. Strain those off, put the salad spinner back together, give it a little spin, and then once that's all dried out, you can put that in the fridge and keep them there for another 5 to 7 days, eating them whenever you want. You can you can rinse them every once in a while, but they're gonna stop growing in the fridge when you keep them cold. So you can take these sprouts and add them to sandwiches, toss them in stir fries. They're even delicious on your morning eggs and avocado toast, so you can have them for breakfast. That's really all there is to it. It's a really easy way to grow fresh vegetables in your kitchen in just a few days. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. And as always, you can find a ton more information on sprouting, growing food, and gardening on Garden Therapy. Be sure to head over there and see all the different kinds of seeds that you can sprout and what they taste like. Some just might surprise you. Until next time, see you in the garden. But they do change the flavor and decompose the sprouts, but they do change the tasting sprouts by rinsing off those husks. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's every time you add the fresh water, it helps to you can eat them, they don't. The husks.